As our initial shock and grief over Queen Elizabeth II's death has begun to wane, in the days that have followed her passing, the British public have begun to ask questions about the Queen's estate. Where King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla will live now that he is to be the reigning monarch, what our banknotes are going to look like, and who will inherit the Queen's incredible collection of jewelry, including her tiaras. In today's video, we will be talking about the Queen Elizabeth II jewels. Without further ado, let's begin. When we speak of Queen Elizabeth II's jewelry, we must remember that the collection is divided in ownership already. There are the crown jewels, comprising of over 100 near-priceless treasures and more than 23,000 gemstones, which are part of the royal collection that has been housed in the Tower of London since the 16s. The jewels that are on display at the Tower of London belong to the crown, rather than any single person, and as such they will remain in the royal collection, held in trust for ruler and nation, to be used by the succeeding reigning monarch. Queen Elizabeth II also had a private collection of jewelry, comprising of pieces she inherited, received as a gift by family members, or bought for herself. In terms of the jewelry that she inherited, we know that when Queen Mary died in 1953, most of her jewelry was left to her granddaughter, later Queen Elizabeth II. Mary was Queen Consort, married to King Emperor George V. She only had one daughter, Mary, Princess Royal and Countess of Harewood, and so it follows that she left much of her jewelry collection to her granddaughter Elizabeth. When the Queen's mother passed away, she also left a considerable jewelry collection to her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, so there are plenty of sentimental heirlooms among the assortment. It is thought that there are as many as 50 tiaras in the Queen's private collection, which may now be passed down to the younger women in her immediate family. Over the years, the Queen was prone to lending out her tiaras to family members for formal events. Catherine, newly the Princess of Wales, wore the Cartier Halo tiara, featuring around 1,000 diamonds, for her wedding to Prince William. The Queen also loaned Meghan Markle an incredible Art Deco diamond bandeau tiara for her wedding to Prince Harry in 2018. As the Queen's will is private, we can't be certain which granddaughter-in-law or great-granddaughter stands to inherit these tiaras for keeps. But with the Duchess of Cambridge in line to become Queen Consort, once Prince William takes the throne, odds are that she will receive a generous selection of the gems. In fact, the Queen had already been in the habit of gifting jewelry to family members in advance of her death, including to the late Princess Diana and also to Sophie, Countess of Wessex. In 2017, the Duchess of Cambridge was gifted the Royal Family Order, which is a brooch emblazoned with the image of the Queen, and made from glass. The order is usually gifted to honor a female family member for their service to the Crown. On arrival to Westminster Hall, for the service that initiated the late Queen's period of lying in state, the Princess of Wales wore a pearl and diamond leaf brooch, which was on long-term loan from the Queen. For the same service, Meghan Markle wore a pair of diamond and pearl earrings that had been given to her by the Queen, which she wore for the first time in 2018 when visiting Story House and Town Hall in Chester with Her Majesty. As for Camilla Parker Bowles, who serves as Queen Consort while Charles III is king, it is thought that she will be given the Kohinoor crown to wear, which forms part of the royal rather than the private collection. It is a crown that contains some of the most famous diamonds in the world. The 105.6-carat Kohinoor diamond was mined in India thousands of years ago, and it is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world. It was initially a brooch made for Queen Victoria, but was later mounted in the crowns worn by Queen Alexandra and Queen Mary. Its current setting is in the crown that was engineered for Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, for her coronation as Queen Consort in 1937. So it follows that this will be the crown worn by Camilla when she is crowned Queen Consort at King Charles III's coronation. For Queen Elizabeth's own coronation, she wore the imperial state crown, which now sits atop her coffin as it lies in state in England. Plus, she held the sovereign's scepter with cross, created in 1661, and the sovereign's orb, also created in 1661. At the coronation of King Charles III, on the other hand, the Archbishop of Canterbury is to place Edward's crown on the new king's head. It was a moment of great solemnity, full of ceremony and ritual. As ever, the Queen had the correct regalia for the moment. The Queen knew and said so, that crowns are important, says Joanna Hardy, jewelry historian and curator at vintage jewelry destination Omnique. The fact that it is on her coffin now speaks volumes. If the crown jewels speak to the royal ancestry of this remarkable woman, so much of Elizabeth's private jewelry spoke to who she was as a woman, a wife, a mother, a daughter, and granddaughter. For her last ceremonial appearance, she will be outwardly draped in regalia, but what jewelry she wears within will no doubt be innately personal. The crown jewels are kept in the Jewel Room in the Tower of London and comprise of 142 pieces of regalia with 23,578 polished gemstones. The Queen's personal jewelry collection is less distinct, a coterie of brooches, necklaces and tiaras, inherited from grandmothers and aunts one likes to imagine she kept hidden away in old sock drawers. We doubt it. This collection is, however, no less impressive and overflows as much with global history as it does familial anecdote, as can be expected when your family is no ordinary family. Most of these pieces snake a line between fascinating artifacts of history and familial sentiment. The Prince Albert brooch has been worn Queens Alexandra, Mary, Elizabeth, and Elizabeth II, and was first given to Queen Victoria by Prince Albert the day before her wedding. She loved it so much that she wore it on her wedding day. The Queen's Oriental Circlet Tiara, a beloved favorite of her own mother, was initially also designed by Prince Albert for Queen Victoria in 1853. It was originally set with opals, but Victoria replaced them as she thought them to be unlucky, replacing them with rubies. Much of the collection, the Queen inherited from her jewelry-obsessed grandmother Queen Mary. One of the most recognizable of her tiaras, spotted on your notes, coins, and stamps, is officially known as the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, as it was presented to the then Duchess of York as a wedding gift. Yet the Queen has always lovingly referred to it as Granny's tiara. It is perhaps one of the most touching examples of how Elizabeth's two sides intersected in her jewels. A tiara known as a shorthand for royalty was simply known to her as her grannies. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.